So what's up, guys? This is KO Creates, and I'm here to help you get through Thanksgiving this season. Thanksgiving is a wonderful gathering of friends, family, and those relatives that you really terribly cannot stand, and you know it's going to be a conflict situation. Now, it's your duty as a host to be able to make this holiday and this celebration one of the most special for whoever your guests are. So you don't want your nagging, politically incorrect uncle or grandfather to come in there and ruin everything. Best thing to do, and the first thing that I would do, is I would focus on the seating. Now, if you're the one that's actually setting up the event, and if you're the one that's doing the Thanksgiving dinner in your house, the best thing to do for you is to make sure that whoever is sitting next to the person that is typically might start a problem is not going to throw fuel on the fire. It's very simple. Just come up with a seating chart and make sure that whoever comes in, they know where they're sitting. Now, to be honest with you, I've never had to do that on my own. I typically have people come in and pretty much seat themselves. And we've never had any conflict situations. And if anyone does start something, it's always easier to diffuse it. Which brings me to the next point. So, diffusers. A good thing to do is when you're cooking or hosting or even joining somebody's event, a good thing to do is to have a group of diffusers. This is very important, so focus. Make sure that you have somebody in the room that you can do like an eye signal or a wink or a nudge or a peace sign or something, even just scratching your nose. And that person will know that, hey, we need to kind of disbalance and kind of throw off the conversation. So best thing to do is find somebody that's going to be able to get that signal and know exactly how to react. Whether it's bringing up another conversation, dropping a cup, or even doing something crazy. I don't know. Maybe just screaming out in the open that I'm gay, or look at those boobies, or whatever the hell it may be. It's up to you. You can really do anything. I mean, whatever it takes to stop that in its tracks. Next, if you lead the conversation, you're gonna pretty much have a direction and keep those questions coming. So you know what to ask to get them to, pretty much have a civilized time. You want to avoid political, religious, or any kind of social conversations like I have a belief in or somebody else has a disbelief, out of the way. I'm sure you can do it. Just keep it going. Keep them coming. Hello? Next. Don't fuel or throw fuel in any fires. Leave your ego behind. Calm the hell down. Make sure that you leave all your worries behind. You need to be in literal Zen mode, because if you start throwing fuel into the fire, even though there might be some sensitive subjects that somebody might say, or somebody might bring something up that really offends you, just let it go. And no matter what people say, I mean, you know who you are, so that's enough for you to be able to, and if you have to defend yourself, then go ahead. I'm a true believer of defending yourself. And a good thing to do is just to call the person out and be like, I need to talk to you outside, please. And then you just, you get up with that person and you go outside and you have a conversation and you resolve whatever your differences are. And that's it. I mean, simple as that. Literally, let it go. Don't focus on the negatives. It's going to avoid any kind of issues and whatnot. And diffusing the conversation by doing that is a great way, because if the person has some sort of opinion, and everyone has an opinion, opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. So make sure that you just, don't go and start throwing fuel in the fire to making something that maybe somebody said hurt you, or scuff you in a way where you want to attack them. And that happens, believe it or not. I have that happen all the time. I start flipping my lids. If you need to get up and go out of the room and kind of take a couple of minutes, great. And make sure that if you see somebody that's in the same position and they're getting frustrated and they're getting heated, make sure you take them aside and say, hey, listen, I wanted to talk to you. I have something crazy going on and I want you to be a part of it. and make peace in a conflict-riddled environment. So let's do that, huh? Listen, listen, listen. I am 100% sure that if you are a good listener and you can use the previous step and you listen and you do that and you don't throw fuel on the fire, you're gonna have an excellent time at Thanksgiving. Here, this one's very important. Leave the inner judge in you free. Like, give them a day off, okay? Don't start being judgmental and trying to like tell people how to do things and you know that you're not living right. And everyone has, again, their own point of view. So if you're just gonna be judgmental, you're gonna have a bad time. Another thing I would suggest is to make sure that you have a certain way to be able to escape a situation. So for example, you can always be sitting next to the person at the dinner table and say, hey, I have an important meeting that I need to take on my phone in a couple of minutes, and I'm just waiting for that phone call. So that later on, it's gonna give you pretty much a perfect plan or a perfect excuse to be able to get up and go and take that phone call. Hey, listen, it's coming through. I gotta do this right now. I'll be right back. Another way to do this is if you can't set it up where somebody's about to give you a phone call or you're about to get into a conference call, is to just say, hey, listen, I really got to go use the bathroom, or I want to go see what the score is on the TV, or whatever the situation may be. It's going to give you an opportunity to be able to get away from the situation as well, which could save you a lot of drama. Now, this is a funny one. I don't know why I wrote it, but I think I do, because last year there was a toilet that got clogged in my apartment by one of the guests, and it can be a really embarrassing moment. So just because you're trying to avoid conflicts, you're also trying to spare somebody the embarrassment at your party. So a really good way to do this is to prevent your toilets getting clogged. So if you need to put a note or something about how people flush or whatever, because when there's 10 to 15 people in your house and they're all using the toilet, something's bound to happen, and you don't want to have that conversation when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I think I clogged your toilet, because it might be embarrassing for not only the person, but for you, and you don't want to be sitting there pumping out the toilet while you're trying to host and trying to take care of everybody during your Thanksgiving dinner. So that's a good point right there. And Thanksgiving. Now, a lot of you might want to maybe cook dinner, and this might not work for you, but sometimes you could just say, you know what? Screw it all, and I'm just gonna have Thanksgiving dinner in a restaurant and invite whoever you want to invite and just do it there. It's so much easier because you can call people. Like I would never do that in a restaurant, because personally I like to cook and whatnot. But in a restaurant you have waiters, and then you could leave whenever it gets out of hand. You could just be like, okay guys, dinner was great, let's get out of here. Another cool thing that you can do is you can actually separate the room with different locations where people could go to kind of get away. So set up like little areas, like an outside area where a person could go out. If it's a balcony, on the balcony or in the backyard, maybe in the living room, maybe put a movie in another room. That way everyone has a little place where they can go to. And also, don't confine your kids. Kind of let the kids come and go. Maybe put a little baby table and or a kids table where they can enjoy themselves. And then whenever they feel like they can go into another room, and you'll have a set up area where they can play or do whatever it is. That way they're not interfering or bothering anybody. And that also gives an opportunity for people that you just don't want to go out and just take a little breather from from the food or from the people or whatever it is. They can go outside and actually do that, or they can go into another room. Put a movie, put the game on in the living room, put a movie on in the bedroom, for example, and that's it. You have a nice setup. Thanksgiving is a celebration to be able to bring people together. Don't forget that. You are only with your mother-in-law for one day, and maybe more, but it sucks if it is, but I know you could put up with it and get this done. Even though if you don't like the person, or if you had some kind of conflict before, this is a great time to be able to reconnect and try to rebuild a relationship. Thanksgiving is a time for people to be able to come together and enjoy a celebration and being thankful for each other. So let's not forget what we're here for. We're here for to be able to spend that little bit of time with the family member, that mother-in-law that you don't get along with, that crazy uncle, or you know, whoever else it may be. But the general idea is to be able to enjoy this time and be grateful and thankful for your family, for your friends, for the people that are in that room. So come in there with high spirits, get in that holiday zone, and be happy. Like, you can't go wrong if you just come there with a positive mindset. Don't come in there with like an attitude where, oh man, I have to do this again, because you're not gonna have a good time. And most likely your energy is gonna actually disperse in that room, stressful or a tense situation. And you wanna avoid that. If somebody says something screwed up, laugh. If somebody says something bad about you, joke about it. If somebody wants to talk about Donald Trump becoming the president, brush it off. Don't let things like that get into your veins, and don't let them destroy and ruin this beautiful holiday. I love Thanksgiving. I wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and I want you guys to like, subscribe, and comment on my videos if you enjoy them. My name is KO, and I'm checking out. Peace.